performing any exercise program, please use common sense and follow the advice of your doctor or medical professional to reduce and avoid injury. By performing any physical exercises, you are performing them at your own risk. High Livity Fitness cannot be liable for the outcomes of your actions. Thanks for your understanding.
And today, guys, it is the Chinese New Year. So Kung Haifa Choi, if you guys celebrate it all. It's the year of the tiger. I'm the year of the tiger. You guys ready for some fierceness this year? That's why I've got these pants on. We're gonna bring in a little bit of animal energy, okay? So let's come on in, let's start to shake it out, okay? We're gonna bring that energy on in, we're gonna wake it on up, opening up the arms, giving yourself some circles, I'm just giving you these guys these few moments in the beginning to let out any kinks. So if you wanna twist around, just find any movement that gets you to your mat, to your space. Start breathing in nice and deep. That's it, Beth. Bringing the arms up, maybe shaking them on out, bending them up, releasing them down. All right, you ready to come together? Here we go. We're gonna start with a V step. Right leg leads. So we're taking those toes out to the corners. We're gonna step out wide and step back. That's it. Starting to bend into those knees. Standing up nice and tall, using your arms. That's it, getting everything moving. Pumping up the energy, bringing up the breath and the heart rate. All right, let's switch the feet, left leg leads. That's it, take it out, toes out, grounding down into the heels. Beautiful work, guys. All right, we're gonna start to get a little bit deeper into our movement here. So as you're ready, let's start to plant those feet down. A little bit of a squat to the top, just a little drop and lift. Good. All right, so toes are slightly out. Feet are wider than hip at least, okay? Start to drop the tailbone like you're gonna sit back in a chair. Nice work. Breathe in, lift the chest. All right, we're gonna take it up another notch. From here, you're gonna bring those knees up. Here we go. Lift, switch. You can use the arms to reach on up and pull on down as you pull those knees up to the chest. Deep breaths in here. That's it, everyone. Lifting those knees. Nice work. Standing up tall. Really making sure you're engaging that belly so that you can lift that chest up. Nice work. Plant those feet again. Start to drop a little deeper into your squat here. We're really waking up those legs. Getting the weight back into the heels. Got it? All right, you guys ready for a little bit of a pulse? Let's take it down. Little pulse here. That's it. Maybe your toes lift up. All that weight is drawing back behind you. You ready? We're gonna stand up tall, knees up high. Let's go. Lift. Switching those knees. Lifting those knees right up to the chest. Pulling those arms down. Lifting up that energy. You got it. You're pulling the belly button, your tummy in to keep your core engaged. Stay with me here for 4. You got it for 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Step that leg out. We're going to do a little bit of a side lunge back to center. So this knee is not going past the toes, right? We're going to sink the hips back. Keep everything in good alignment. That's it. Maybe swoop the arms out. Bring them back. Reach and center. Nice job. Breathe in. All right, one more to the side. And then we're gonna turn the toes forward. And now we're gonna come in for a regular lunge. Drop the back knee, rise up. Front knee over that ankle. Pulling the navel in. Creating some heat already. If you wanna use those arms, go ahead. Bring some movement, a little bit of pumping action with the arms here. We'll come back to center and shift over to the other side. Feet are wide, a little side lunge over to the left. Sinking the hips back and down. We're lengthening this leg, keeping it nice and anchored to the floor. Good job, breathe in, lift the chest up. Nice work, everybody. All right, here we go. Let's turn the toes, back heel lifted, regular lunge. Dropping down through center, rising up through center. Shoulders are stuck right over those hips. That back heel is pressing away. Getting those arms in with the movement. Picking up brain and body connection. Nice work, everybody. All right, let's come back to center. Lift those knees. Let's go, let's go. Pulling those knees up to the chest, getting that heart rate up again. We're almost out of the warm-up. We'll pick up the weights just momentarily. Let's keep lifting that heart rate. Keep getting that breath up. You got it. Stay with me here. For 4. For 3, lifting those knees. 2, 1. Good. Drop the feet. Drop down into the squat. Lift up. Toes are out, heels are in. Lots of squats coming at you today. We got that animal energy. We're really gonna pump it up, guys. All right, here we go. Drop it down, pulse. Stay with me, hold. Pull the navel in, lift the chest. Knees are not going past those toes. We wanna make sure we've got good alignment, good posture for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up. All right, shake it out. We're gonna come in for our first track. So pick up the weights when you're ready. We got our back track, guys. Building strength from the back side. We're gonna find our strong beginning position. Feet are on railroad tracks. Rolling the shoulders back. Let's make this deadlift strong. Palms face in. Tipping from the hip. Crown of the head comes forward. All right, set your deadlift up for success. Bending those knees just slightly. Pressing down into both feet. Now, if you want to bend the knees even more, if that suits your body, go for it. If you want to keep the legs a little bit straighter, go for that as well, okay? This is your workout. You choose your options. That's it. Give me 4 more. Looking over the cliff. Sending the tailbone back. Keeping the back flat. 1 more like this. All right, guys. Push that left foot back. Keep the toe down. Maybe you bring both weights into the left hand. Right hand on the thigh as you take it down. Press into the foot, rise up. Single leg deadlift. Now try to not let this shoulder come forward. Pull it back. Stay broad across the collarbone. Pressing down into that front foot to rise up. All right, you ready for a bit more? Here we go. You can reach the arm out to the side. You can leave it there if you want. Holding a weight up. Working that shoulder. I'll show you from the front. That arm out is open up on an angle to the side. Taking it down, press into the foot, rise. That's it, stay with it. 1 more. All right, drop it down. Take a look. Roll that left arm up and into your side. Keep the back flat. Keep the crown of the head reaching forward. Your right arm is extended out to the corner. Left arm, elbow bending, pulling into the side. Hold here, let's stay. For 4, for 3, for 2, 1, rise up, good job. Let's switch the feet. Opposite leg goes back, maybe both weights coming to the right. Left hand on thigh, let's tip it over. Tip. Back heel presses away. If you want, you can bend the back knee, okay, if that feels better for you. Or you can keep the leg nice and straight. Tipping over, looking over that cliff, keeping the back nice and long. Good job. If you want more, reach that left arm out, hold it there. Maybe use a weight for a little bit more resistance. That's it. Tipping forward, pressing into that front foot to rise back up. Breathe. 1 more like this. All right, guys, take it down, hold. We're gonna row. That's it, stay here. Pull the elbow in. Reach out to the corner. Pull the navel to the spine. Keep the back flat. Come on, you can do this. Stay with me for 4. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Rise. Step it in. Regular deadlift. Both feet planted. Rise up. Let's go. For 3. Flush it out. For 2. You got it. 1 more. All right, guys, we're coming in for our first interval. When you're ready, hands on hips, right leg back, Lunge, step in, right leg forward. Lunge, step in, switch the feet. Left foot, back, rise, in, forward, drop, in. It's a quick change. If you want to stay with one leg, you can go for that. If you want to stay just forward and back or just back, you choose, okay? Lots of options. Now let that go. It's a quick change into that first interval. So don't worry about it too much if you didn't get too many repetitions there, okay? We're gonna revisit that move. Our second interval. Here we go, okay? When you're ready, you're gonna pick up those weights, open up the arms, keep the elbows bent, tap them to the shoulders, push them up. Bring them back down, open up. In, push, down, open. In, rise, good. Now check your posture. Make sure you're standing tall. If you want to move the feet around while you work the upper body, by all means, it's going to challenge your balance a little bit more. You want to make sure you're keeping those elbows slightly bent to protect the joint. Go on, come on, push it. Open it up. Really working the shoulder area, and then let it go. Nice work, guys. All right, because it is the year of the tiger, we are gonna get fierce here. For our next interval, take a look. We're gonna come down onto all fours, okay? We're gonna lift the knees away from the ground, staying on the toes. We're gonna crawl forward, and then we're gonna crawl backward. Okay, stay low, crawl. That's it, everyone. This might not be a move that you've done in a long time. A little bit of crawling brings us back to our animal nature, our child nature. So find what feels good for you. If it's not good for you to be on your hands and knees, think about just tipping forward, stalking like a tiger using all fours, and then taking it back. All right, stay with it to the end. Here we go. Almost there, guys. Building muscle in the whole body, and then let it go. Coordination, okay? So you've seen all three moves. Three. We're gonna bring it back to the top, starting with those lunges. So here's how it goes. One leg goes back, and the same leg comes forward, and then you switch. Other leg goes back, it comes forward, and then you switch again. All right, 40 seconds on the clock. Time to amp it up. Here it goes, come on. Drop it down. How low can you get in your lunge? Bring that back knee close to the ground. Front knee stays over the ankle. If you just want to step back, switching the legs, that's fine. If you want to just step forward, switching the legs. If you just want to stay on one leg and then switch, that's fine, okay? Finish it off, here it is. Here's the outro, come on, bring it in strong, everyone. And then let it go. Woo! That one's good, right? Get the legs going. Grab a quick drink if you need one, okay, everyone? Stay hydrated. Our next interval, we're moving on to the upper body. Pick up those weights. Strength training, cardio training, all in one. Heart rate stays up as we press the arms overhead. Our heart rate is pushing up as well, okay? So maybe you take advantage and walk around the room a bit. Keep your feet moving. Keep the mind and the body engaged by doing something different with the movement. So see if you can challenge yourself to walk around in a circle, opening up the arms, pushing them overhead, keeping the elbows slightly bent, maybe a little step tap to the side, and bringing it back. Let's go, let's go. Opening up that chest, keeping it strong in the upper body, and then let it go. Whew. Nice work, everyone. All right, you ready to get down on that ground again? So the best way I find to do this is it's opposite hand, opposite foot forward. So when you go forward, opposite hand, opposite foot, then the opposite hand, opposite foot, and then the same thing back. Opposite hand, opposite foot, as you stalk like a tiger. Let's go. So you choose the speed. We're building lots of strength and stability in the core this way. We're working the back, the hips. Let's go, let's go. 40 seconds. Forward and back. Stalking like a tiger. Keeping the hips down. Keeping the back flat. Let's go. Who feels their quads burning here? Keeping low to the ground. That's it. Come on, stay, guys. Almost there. Breathe through it. That's it. And let it go. Nice work, team. All right, get up on your feet. We're gonna come back into our muscle strengthening. As if we're not always in the midst of muscle strengthening, right? But we got squats, babies. So let's grab those bands. Bring them around the legs, above the knees. Here we go. You have weights. You can hold them in your hands, okay? But we're gonna focus on the lower body here. Taking the feet hip width distance or slightly wider, okay? Getting ready for that squat. Lifting the chest, weights can come under the chin. As the weight goes back into the heels, and you sink your hips back and down. Down, 2, lift, 2. Let's get with the beat. 1, 2, lift, 2. Down, sink, rise. That's it. Nice work, everyone. Take a deep breath in. Setting up our squat for success here. So making sure those knees are not going past the toes. Making sure you're keeping your chest up as much as you can. Not falling forward. Good. All right, take it down, pulse. Little pulses. Stay. Keep the chest up. Beautiful. That's it, everyone. You're looking so good, so strong here. All right, you ready to walk it out? We're gonna stay low. Traveling to the left. Let's go. Down, step, over, in. Other side. You can release the weights as you step over, giving yourself a little bit of a bicep curl. Keeping the knees bent. Let's go. Whew. Breathe. Almost there. Let go. Rise. Good job. 2 and 2. 1, 2, lift, 2. We're gonna follow that beat, okay? So taking those feet out wide, you might feel like that band wants to pull your knees in. Make sure you're actively keeping the legs engaged to keep the knees over the ankles. Everything stays in alignment. That's it. Take a deep breath. You ready? Here comes the pulse. Let's go. Pulse. Hold. You choose how high you are up in your pulse. It's fine, wherever you are. Good job. All right, you guys ready? Staying low. We're taking it left. Let's go. Down, over. Walk it out. Drop, in. Open, up. Stay. Keeping the knees bent. We keep those hips up as we travel side to side. Breathe. One more. All right. Rise up. Take it down slow. Super slow. Feet are wide. Pressing down to rise up. You're moving through mud. Let the hips drop back and down. All right. Here comes 2 and 2. Let's go. 1, 2. Lift. 2. Really sink it down. You ready? Here we go. Walk. To the side, staying low, in, to the opposite side. Give yourself that little bicep curl through the center. Woo! Who's feeling their legs right here? Let's go. Staying low, walking it out, keeping the chest out. Come on, you can do it. Stay with it. Breathe. You are so strong. Last one. That's it. And then let it go. Oh my golly, you guys are awesome. Well done. Get rid of that. All right, shake those legs out. Time for the upper body. Woo! Breathe it out. All right, we're gonna come back. Find a strong set position. Those feet are on railroad tracks. Palms face in. Easy curl here, okay? Breathe. All right, let's catch our breath. Take a moment, take a pause. Take a deep breath in. Good. Stay with it. Lift your chest. Pull the belly up and in. Stand up strong. Stand up long. Crown of the head. Lifting up towards the ceiling. Nice work. All right, elbows bent. Up, 2, down, 2. Lift. And lower with control. Open it up. We're getting ready to fly. When you're ready, arms extend out. Let's go. Up and down. Lift. Lower. Keeping the elbows slightly bent. Lengthen those arms out to the side. Coming up to about shoulder height. Good. Lift and hold. Hold. Little pulses. Little pulses. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. Open up the chest. Elbows slightly bent. Take a deep breath. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Curl up and down. Nice work. All right, if you're ready, you start to move those feet around, maybe taking a few steps around your room. Me, I always prefer to move the lower body when I'm working the upper body. All right, 4, 3, let's go. 2, change is coming. Take a look. Lift. Lower. 1, 2. All right, if you want to fly, open and down. Nice long arms coming out to the side. Relax the shoulders. If you want to split your stance, step 1 foot back, press into that front foot, lift up tall, let's go. Up, down, shoulder height. Elbows slightly bent. Keep it strong. Keep it controlled. Nice, strong, flat wrists. You ready? Here comes the push. Hold it. Pulse, 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 pulse. Nice, strong wrists here. Little pulses. Open up across the chest. You can do it. Stay. Breathe. Good job, almost there. Lower it down, slow, slow, lift up out to the side, slow, slow, again, let's go, slow, you're moving through water, through mud, it's so thick, control all the way down, let's do one more, up to the side, and lower it down, all right, get rid of those weights, here comes the interval, lunges, let's go, right, in, forward, in, left, back, in, forward, higher, stronger, let's go deeper. Woo! About 30 seconds or less now. Push it. Make these lunges count. Dropping that back knee nice and deep. Staying strong. As you lift up, switch the feet. Choose any modification you need to, and then let it go. Nice work. Whew, grab a drink if you need one, okay? We're gonna keep rolling, guys, with these intervals. What do we got? Who can show me what we got? Ready? Grab those weights. We're not done with the arms. Elbows slightly bent. In, press, down, open. Push it up. All right, guys, we are sculpting the arms here, okay? Breathing in, our upper body helps us carry things, helps us push, helps us pull, helps us vacuum and dust. Trust me, I know. So let's keep it strong. Right here, let's go. Keep those arms lifted. Keep the elbows slightly bent. Keep the chest open. Move the feet around if that makes you feel better, okay? If you feel the burn, breathe into it. Let it go. Excellent work. If it's too much with the weights, you can always do any movement without the weights and you're still getting work, okay? All right, here we go. When you guys are ready, let's get down and dirty. On the toes, crawling opposite hand, opposite foot forward, and taking it back. Let's go, stay low, crouch down. You're a tiger stalking its prey. Let's have a little fun with a little bit of a different move today. Breathe. Make it strong. If this is a challenge for you, try and embrace it as something different. If you don't like it and you want to stay on your feet, you can take a jog, You can take a march. You can tiptoe forward and back. Whatever feels good for you here, guys. We're tapping into this animal energy. Let's go. Breathe. And then let it go. Whew, nice work. Shake it out. Those ones are really good on the quads, isn't it? You can feel the strength and the tension going on in there. All right, guys. Whew. Catch your breath. Here we go. We're going back to the top. Oh no, we got lunges. That brain and body connection, right? When you're ready, taking it back, taking it forward, switching it up. Let's go, let's go. So you choose an option that feels good. Maybe taking it just back, maybe taking it just forward, maybe switching the legs. All right, wherever you are, this is the time to turn it up. So let's go, lift up that heart rate. Get breathing nice and deep. This is what you came for, my team. Come on, come on. Woo! Take a deep breath in, see it out to the end. Drop that back knee straight down into that lunge. Keep it strong. Let's go. Great work. Let it go. Grab a drink. Woo! I hope you guys are sweating. I am sweating. All right, as you're ready, with weights or without. Okay? Here we go. This is your last time, so keep it strong. Quality over quantity. If you feel like those elbows are falling down, you can't keep them up, let go of the weights, okay? Keep the elbows lifted. Keep them slightly bent as you extend the arms out. Push them up overhead. All right, let's go, let's go. Break free here. Walk around your room. Play with the movement. Keep the wrist strong. You guys know where you're going with this. Let's just stick it out to the end. We got it, we got it. Breathe. Let's go, let's go. Heart rate lifts, push it up. Nice strong back. Everything working together, and then let it go. Excellent job, guys. I'm having a lot more fun with this tiger crawl than I thought I would. How about you guys? It's fun, isn't it? Something different. So let's get down. Last chance, okay? On the toes, on the hands. Stalk it out. Keeping it strong, keeping it low, keeping the hips down. So try not to push the hips up, okay? You want to keep the back as flat as you can. Maybe you feel those quads really turning on here. Maybe the lower back is taking some work. Take a break if you need to, or stick this out to the end, okay? It's less than 30 seconds now. Forward and back. Come on, coordination. Breathe, you can do this. This is the outro. Stay with it. Come on, come on. Stay low. Crawl it out. Let it go. Oh my goodness. Shift those legs out. Take a deep breath, guys. If you've got that band, go ahead and grab your band, okay? Again, we're gonna bring the band around the legs, over the knees. Now, with our lunges, if you've got a band on, you might not be able to step back as much, and that's okay. Just find a comfortable spot where you can step that leg back, back heel lifted up. We're gonna drop 2, lift 2. 1, 2, lift 2. Down. Knee comes close to the ground. Front knee stays over the ankle. All right, at the top, little pulses. Little pulses. That's it. Pressing into the big toe of your front foot. Back heel presses away. Pull the navel in. Take a deep breath. You got this, guys. All right, take it down. Pulse a little bit lower. Back heel presses back. That's it. Front knee over the ankle. Stay strong. Whose quads are burning? Can you feel that in the leg? Stay with me. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up. Slow. Slow. Slow rise. That band wants to bring your legs out of alignment. Use the strength to bring them back. Okay? Hips are square. Down, 2, lift, 2. Down, lift. That's it. Keeping it steady, keeping it strong. down. All right, top portions, little pulses. Top portion. My brain is slowing down. All that oxygen going to the muscles. Let's go, breathe. Oh my goodness. Take it down a little bit more. Little pulses. Hold. You can do it. Take a deep breath. Almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1, lift. All right, same leg that's back, coming out to the side. Coming back to center. Push the sole of the foot away. Keep your balance. If you want more, take the arms out. Maybe you're holding your weights. Open. Here we go. Lift. So this standing leg is slightly bent to give yourself a little bit more stability. Opening up to the side. Maybe you're hanging onto a wall or table. All right, hold it up there. Pulse. Little pulses. Press the sole of the foot away. Stand strong. You can do this. Balance. Breathe. Hold. Lift. Stay. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Ready? Shake it on out. We got another side to work. Here we go. Left leg goes back. 2 and 2. 1, 2. Lift. 2. That's it. All right, let's reset the balance. You really need to work on pulling the core in here. That's going to keep your hips stable. Everything stays strong from the middle. That's it. Down 2, lift 2. Good. Take it down, little pulses at the top. Breathe. That's it. Good job, good job. Stay. Take it down, pulse at the bottom. If you can feel that bend, pulling your legs together, work against it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise. Super slow. 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 All the way down. Slow. Slow. All the way to the top. 3 more. Nice work. We like you're moving through mud. You can have your weights on your shoulders. They can be on your hips. They can be out to the side. Good. Here we go. 2 and 2. Hit it again. 1, 2. Lift. 2. Pressing into that front foot. Front knee over the ankle. Down. 2. Lift. 2. That's it. All right. Here we go. At the top, pulse. Pulse. Little pulses. Last set in this one. Stay strong. Breathe. Take it down. Pulse. Oh my goodness. Stay. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift. Come to the center. Lift up to the side. Standing on that right leg. We keep the knees slightly bent. Now here's the challenge. If you have the band around those legs, it wants to pull your leg back in. You need to resist. Slow. Open up the arms for balance. Use a wall or a chair. Lift up that heart, guys. Stay with it here. Breathe. Final push. Here we go. Lift, hold. Little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Get your balance. Lift up. Belly in. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yes. Yes, team. Get rid of that. Woo. That was supposed to be a little bit more exuberant, like that. All right? So, I got something special for you today. Staying with the animal instincts. We're gonna come down into a plank, okay? So, let's begin by coming onto all fours, spreading the hands wide, shoulders over wrists, hips are over knees. From here, press down to the palms, bring the knees to hover. Okay. So here's your first option. You can stay in a hovering tabletop, keeping the back as flat as you can, pressing the body away from the ground. Pulling the belly up and in, we're working on the core, okay? If you're ready for more, step out to a full plank. If you're ready for less, bring the knees down, okay? Your choice here. You work with the modifications to find what feels good for you. So you're lifting the back of the heart up, keeping the back nice and flat, keeping the hips low here. We're pulling the belly in, We're breathing. All right. Now, from here, our next challenge. Take a deep breath. You're gonna press into the hands. You're gonna lift the hips, lengthen the arms, push the hips up and back. For a downward dog. Press the chest towards the top of the thighs. Take a breath in. Come back into plank. Roll back over those hands. Knees down. Take a breath. Sink back. All right, so now you've seen it. We're gonna stay with that sequence, that movement. When you're ready, coming back into plank. All right, or half plank, or hovering tabletop. Wherever you are, we're gonna take a deep breath in. We're gonna lift the hips, press the chest back, press into the hands and the arms. Lower the crown of the head. Good, stretching out the back side. Now from here, see if you can lift your right leg off the ground. All right, just bring it to hover, pressing into both hands evenly. Lower it down. Lift the left leg. Lift the heel. Press into the hands. Keep those hips up. Lower it down. Roll the body forward. Back into plank. All right, knees down. Take a quick break. Right back into it when you're ready. Coming back into that plank. Lifting the body away. We come into the downward dog. Lengthen the arms. Lift the right leg. Get it up there. How high can you lift it? Lower it down. Lift the left leg. That's it. Stretch that leg. Lower it down. Roll the body forward. Coming back to plank or lowering the knees for half plank. Stay here. Let's do two more. Lift the hips. Press back. Chest to thighs. Lift the right leg. Lengthen the backside body. Lift it up. Big breath in. Lower it down. Lift the left leg. Keep pressing into both hands. Lower it down. Shift the body forward. Back into plank. Take a break if you need to, or we're going to do one more. Here we go. Lift the hips. Press into the hands. Press the chest back. Lift the right leg up high. Lift it up. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Other leg working the shoulders, the upper body for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. All right, shift the weight forward, back into the plank, and hold either knees down or up for 8, for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Lower it down. Knees down. Push it back. Give yourselves a stretch. Nice work, everybody. All right. We're going to stay on our bellies. So roll forward. Coming down onto the belly. We're going to bring our hands by our rib cage. Okay? So hands are right beside the rib cage. The elbows are pointing up towards the ceiling. And the toenails are down on the ground. When you're ready, you're going to lift the chest. Just pressing slightly into the hands. Lift the chest. Squeeze the middle of the back. Squeeze the glutes. Press down into the pubic bone. Take a big breath in. Roll the shoulders back. And then release. Chest comes back down to the ground. Take a breath. Okay? When you're ready, we're going to get reset. Hands are staying by the rib cage. This time, lift the chest and lift the hands to hover. Squeezing the elbows in, squeezing the middle of the back, lifting the heart a little bit more with every breath. Roll the shoulders back and down. Hold for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower down. Nice work. All right, here we go. This time, you can lengthen your arms down behind you with the fingers pointing down to the toes. Okay? You can keep the palms on the ground or lift the palms to cover and lift the chest. That's it. Roll the shoulders back. Squeeze the middle of the back. Toenails down. Lift the heart. Breathe for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Lower down. All right, one more option. You can stay with the hands by your side. We're going to lift up and breathe. If you want, you can interlace the hands behind the small of your back, press the knuckles back, and give yourself a little bit more lift. As you lengthen the arms, you lift the chest. Breathe for 4. If you want more, lift the feet away from the ground. For 3, for 2, and 1. Lower down. Okay, we're gonna do one more, choosing whatever option feels good for you. All right, guys? So if you're ready, interlace your hands, keep them by your side, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, and maybe lift the legs. Taking the front of the thighs away from the ground, everything reaching back behind you, squeeze and hold for 8, for 7, for 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. Nice work, guys. Give yourself a break, shake out the feet. Ooh. Relax your head down. When you're ready, we're gonna come onto our backs for our final exercises, okay? So finding a spot on your back, taking a deep breath in. Your option here, you can bring the knees bent over the hips, or you can lengthen the feet all the way up to the ceiling. All right, point the toes. Now, we're gonna flex the foot, push the heel away as you lower the left leg. And then point the toe and lift back to center. Again, right leg, push the sole of the foot, lower it down, point the toe, lift it back up. Again, opposite foot. Press the sole of the foot, flex the foot, point the toe, bring it back. So if your knees are bent, same movement, tapping the heel, lifting the toe and the knee, okay, lowering it down, and lifting back to center. If your legs are long, stay with it, keep that lower back, press down to the ground, keep switching the feet, flexing the foot as you lower, pointing the toe as you lift. Let's go. Keep breathing. You got this, guys. Relax your arms by your side. That's it. A few more here. Deep breaths. Keep the belly engaged. Coming back to center. We're gonna lift the hips. So press down, lift the back of the hips. Point your toes up to the ceiling. If your knees are bent, just lift, okay? You can use your hands for a little bit more leverage. Let's go. Lift, push. How high can you get the back of the hips? Engaging that lower belly. We reach and we point the toes up to the ceiling. For 4, for 3, for 2, reset, okay? Again, lengthen the left leg. Press the foot away. Point the toe, lift back up. Opposite foot. Release down, point, lift, switch. Press the sole away, point, and lift. Switch. Knees are bent or legs are long, you choose. That's it. Woo! All right, guys, get ready. We're gonna lift those hips up. You ready? Here we go. Push. Just a little push from the middle of the back to lift those back of the hips up towards the ceiling. Toes point up. Maybe you use your hands for a little leverage. Let's go. Really engage in the core here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, everyone. Bend your knees. Take your arms out to your side. Allow the knees to fall over to the left. Keeping them lifted, we're using strength from the core, coming and pulling them back up to center, and then letting them come toward the right. Final movement here. Lifting up through center, allowing the knees to travel over to the left. Here's the last push. You can extend the top leg. Okay, keeping it a little bit more challenging, or both legs if you want. As you bring the legs side to side, we're working the obliques here. Keeping the shoulders down. It's just a gentle movement, okay? Don't take it too deep. Make sure those shoulders stay grounded. We'll do 2 more to each side. Continue to breathe. That's it. That's it, everyone. Stay strong till your last one. And when you're done, bring it back to center. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself a roar. You did awesome, everyone.
Good work, fit friend. Give yourself a good stretch and hit like and subscribe for more high liberty workouts.